Good morning, students. In today's lecture we are going to see about the managerial control. Today we are going to see what is the meaning of control, its definition, what are the steps that to be included in the controlling process, how one can establish some controlling measures, as because it is very necessary uh, for the smooth running of our planning and to attain the predetermined objectives, to have a particular benchmark where we can see our progress is on the right track or not. Earlier I have discussed with you about the participative management, employee empowerment, and we have also seen how the authority and power is delegated to employees. But all of the above, to execute a plan in a good manner, we should always establish certain managerial controls at all levels of the organization. So let us begin our lecture. Excuse me. So, what is controlling? As we all know that control is the fundamental managerial function, or we can say it is a process by which with the help of this we can measure the current performance of our employees, and we can also guide it towards some predetermined objectives, right? So the essence of control lies always in checking the progress against the plan, setting up the individual and organizational performance standard, and also seeing that they are being achieved as per the plan, right? So we can see that here the control is as a process which includes the monitoring, comparing, correcting performance, and taking action to ensure the desired result. As I told you, that it always guides us towards achieving the predetermined objectives, right? It sees to it that the right things happen in the right ways at the right time. So control, we can see here that control becomes the primary objective, or it is a primary goal oriented function of the management in the organization, right? So with the help of this control, this process of comparing the actual performance with the set standard of the company, to ensure the activities that are performed by the employees are according to the plans. And if this control measure is not taken, then we can take corrective actions. If the goals are not achieved as we are desiring to attain, right? So we can take corrective actions with the help of control. So every manager needs to monitor and evaluate the activities of his subordinate. So control here helps in taking the corrective actions by the manager in the given timeline to avoid the contingencies or company's loss, right? Let us try to define the controlling. Okay, here you can see that controlling, the George R. Terry has defined controlling is determining what is being accomplished, that is evaluating the performance, and if necessary applying corrective measures so that the performance takes place according to plan. So this is the very simple and very precise definition given by George R. Terry. The another definition is given by E.F.L. Bridge. Control is checking current performance against the predetermined standards contained in plans with a review to ensure adequate progress and satisfactory performance, right? So with the help of this definition, we can definitely conclude that every manager needs to monitor and evaluate the activities of his subordinate, so that he might get the help and support in taking the corrective actions, right, by the manager in the given timeline to avoid certain losses of the company, right? So controlling is performed basically on the lower, middle and upper levels of the management. As we know that it is a process of monitoring, comparing, correcting the performance, and also taking the corrective measures and actions to ensure the desired result, right? So this definitely these definitions are very much related to the effect and importance of the controlling, right? Now these are certain steps that are included in the controlling process. First one is establishing standards, measuring and comparing actual results against standard, comparison of actual performance with the standard, taking corrective actions. So what do we mean here by establishing certain standards? Standards are something that with the help of it we can measure, or we can say simply it is the criteria of performance, right? So establishing standards help us to measure the performance of the employee, as or in other words, if I want to say how you are going to compare and monitor the individual's performance, it is the established standard help you to do that, because there may be some qualitative and some quantitative measures would be there. So the standards will provide you the support and the base to evaluate the performance. So standards can be called as the simple criteria of performance, right? There may be some selected points in the entire planning program which performance is measured, so that manager can receive the signal about the things that are going in the right direction or not, right? So thus it is not necessary to have or to watch every step in the execution of plan, but at certain level manager can decide where to set certain measures and standards, so that they might point out or help him that it is going to it is going beyond the control, the performance is not up to the mark. So this will definitely help a manager to point out and signal out him that there is a problem and he should look into the matter. There are some key areas you can see here on this screen. Like establishing standards, we mean about the target, right? About the target which is given to the individual, or the task which is assigned to the individual that need to be achieved to meet the organizational goal eventually, that we all know. But standards indicates the criteria of performance. So here are key areas given, like profitability, market position, productivity, personal development, employee attitudes. So this determine the level of performance, or we can say the power of the individual. This is definitely set by the organization, and with the help of this certain measures, like by measuring the profitability, by taking the research and collecting the information about market position of the company, the productivity of the individual in the organization, the development, the attitude of your employee, we can definitely measure the level of performance in the organization. Now the each characteristics in quantitative terms, while we establish certain measures, it will definitely help us to turn out into the quantitative terms, because there are some qualitative characteristics like satisfaction. Satisfaction cannot be counted, but with the help of certain questionnaires, interviews, there are various techniques and tools. With the help of those, we can convert this qualitative data into the quantitative terms. So these measures and standards will help us to characterize qualitative data in quantitative terms. Here is the example given, that cost should be reduced 10% to 20%, right? Because the objective is set in quantitative terms, that to reduce cost by 10 and 12%. And the next is, the order should be executed quickly within 3 to 4 days. Hence the quantity of order, or it is terms or counted in the days, right? So we have turned out some data in quantitative terms. As well as this establishing standards always help you to count the data, whether it is qualitative or quantitative. If it is qualitative, you can definitely turn out into the some quantitative level of standards. Okay, So this performance should be acceptable, flexible, emphasizes the achievement of result. This is the another characteristics of establishing the standards, that it will shows the company what kind of behavior is acceptable of employee, what kind of productivity is accepted, how much flexibility an organization can give to his or her employees, right? It also emphasizes on the achievement of result, as it is the control measures, the standards were set, so employees himself can also measure, and on the basis of this standard the proper feedback can be given to the employee, which will definitely help him to improve his skills, abilities and knowledge, right? We can take an example of an industrial enterprise here. Say for example, an standard include the sales and production target, or work attendance goal, safety records, etc. So these kind of standards for these issues were set, right? Or in a service industry, on the other hand, the standards might include several times customers have to wait in a queue at a bank, or the number of clients which attracted by the advertisement campaign. So in these terms we can set a certain performance measure, right? Then we have various types of standards. Say for example, if we are talking about the cost, so we can calculate the cost per unit. If we are talking about the physical, so we can convert it into the working hours. And in terms of revenue, we can calculate the sales per customer. In terms of capital, we can count or we can calculate the return on investment. And when it is intangible in nature, say for like measuring the competencies of managers and employees, in working practices standard like code of ethics, how the company is following certain code of ethics, right? What standards and norms were created to follow this working practices, right? Control standards basically categorized into quantitative and qualitative. So quantitative data is expressed in terms of money, can be, right, or some measurable scale. Qualitative data includes the intangible items, and there are certain measures are created. There are various tools to convert this qualitative data into the quantitative terms. Okay. Then next step is measuring of actual performance. After measuring the actual performance, you can get the result whether you are going on a right track or certain corrective measures should be taken by you. So the actual performance of the employee is measured against the targeted one, right, which is predetermined parts, right? So with the increasing level of management, this measurement of performance becomes very difficult, right? If there is a large and complex organization, it is very difficult to measure each and individual's performance. But several methods are used in measuring the performance of the organization. If the standards are appropriately drawn, and if means were available to determine exactly what subordinates are doing, so appraisal of actual or expected performance can be judged on a fair basis, or it will be very easy to make evaluation of their performance, right? So this measuring and comparison is done at various stage in the throughout the process, or at the end. They may be the during the working, or at the end of the work when it is completed. So it can be done at various stages throughout the process or at the end. The purpose of this measuring and comparing actual result against standard is to catch where is the trouble is forming. What is the reason of this trouble is reducing the productivity of an employee, right? It should be done at strategic point before the process end, right? Before you have planned something, you should always take some control measures. You should always have plan B with you, right? Too long period of time to pass between performance measurement. So there, the performance measurement obviously takes a long period of time to evaluate the performance of an employee, right? So we can measure it, or we can decide the frequency of measurement. Like examples are given here on this slide, like quality control of items, developing a product, appraisal of an employee. It can be done quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. You can do this evaluation. Okay, but there are many activities happening in the organization for which it becomes very difficult to develop the accurate standard, and there may be many activities, they are hard to measure, right? So it is quite simple, for example, to establish a labor hour standard for production of mass produced items, right? Or it may be equally simple to measure performance against these standards, but in the less technical kind of work, right? Say for example, controlling the work of industrial relation manager is not easy, because definite standards cannot be easily developed for this qualitative type of data, right, which we want to measure. But various theories were developed how and they would definitely help you to measure this qualitative data, and various tools are developed, various techniques are developed, so that you can get these qualitative data counted, and accordingly you can interpret and suggest the corrective measures. Then we have taking corrective actions. So the corrective action can be taken where we find certain deviations, right? The corrective actions means take actions to correct the deviations, right? Bringing back the position into the normal one, and we can define and we can correct the causes of the deviation with the help of this corrective actions. So here actually what happens in the corrective actions, we are actually comparing the actual performance with the standard. So this compare the degree of difference between the actual performance and the standard performance. If the performance match the standard, manager may assume that everything is under control. In case manager do not have to intervene in the organization's operation, right? But here in the corrective actions, it is like there is when manager finds deviations, so it initiates this corrective actions is always initiated by the manager, who can only correct any defects in the actual performance of the employee. So this step becomes essential if performance falls, right, or it falls short of standard. Then the analysis indicate the corrective action is required. So this corrective action could involve a change in one or more activities of the organization's operation, right? For example, a branch manager of a bank, suppose he has discovered that the counter clerk need to meet one customer in a 5 minute who is waiting in a queue. So he has set certain standard that he should attend a single customer who is standing in a queue within a 5 minutes, right? So control can also reveal the appropriate standard. In this case, the corrective action could involve a change in the original standard rather than the change in the performance. This control measure will help the manager to decide whether to change in the process or whether to change in the performance, right? This is also get very clear with the taking corrective action step. So it is needed to mention that unless the manager see the control process before going through its conclusion, they may be only monitoring the performance rather than exercising the control. It is not always necessary to exercise your power of control. It may be nearly about just only monitoring the performance of the employee, right? So certain deviations can be seen in the organization, like inadequate and poor equipment and machinery, We can also see communication system, lack of motivation of subordinate, defective system of training and selection of personnel, remuneration, etc. There may be the many activities where we find these deviations. So what is the remedial action? We can take remedial action that should be taken depends upon the nature of cause of variation. As the nature of the problem, you can take corrective actions which is required, right? So this emphasis should always be on devising the constructive way to bring performance, not only to bring, but bring the performance up to the standard, right? Rather than only identifying the past failure, right? So controlling process regulates the company's activities so that the actual performance can make to the standard plan. So the effective control system enables manager to avoid circumstances which cause the company loss, right? So this is another step. Need for control system. What is the importance? To ensure the progress planning process. So if employees are sure if they are not making mistakes, so actual result will always be as expected by the manager, and there will be no need for managers to monitor their activities. But it does not happen at all the times, right? Mistakes do occur, actions to get diverted. There may be some wrong diagnosis of the problem is there, and wrong decisions are also made. Sometimes it not happen always, but due to this, therefore we need the control system need to be established. It is necessary so that mistakes do not affect the efficiency of the plan and the goal of the organization. Then to uncover the deviations means pull it off target. As we know, this control mechanism is a continuous process. It helps in detecting the mistakes at early stage of performance. It also saves the time, effort and money, not only by allowing the problems turned into the major deviation at later stage. So it helps to pull it off target so that we can make changes in the complexity, the mistakes in delegation. These deviations can happen in the organization. So it helps the manager to point all these mistakes at the early stage before it turns into the major one, right? Like say for example increasing in cost, or labor absenteeism, or increasing the turnover of the employee, or there may be the defective product samples. So these are some few indications that managers note at early stages so that production schedule cannot be disturbed. So this is the example you can take to understand how on early stage he can identify those deviations, how he can uncover these deviations. Okay. Then to indicate corrective actions, modification, clarification, additional staffing, reassignment, etc. So control basically is a system which help in checking the diversified product lines, giving a healthy margin or the sales form for each region, whether they are improving, they are producing the accepted in the marketplace or not. There is a need of constant monitoring of key areas which help management to encash their opportunities. For that they need to take certain control measures and to establish a control system time to time. So timely actions need to be initiated to prevent these mistakes before they become serious threats for the company, right? So for this control system, we can have corrective actions in the operation like thermostat, feedback, flow of information. These are certain measures that we can do. The corrective actions like modification we can do in some process or in product. We can make some clarification in the idea. We can add something or we can delete something. We can recruit a good staff or we can reassign the task. So these corrective actions can be taken. And we can also transmit the corrective action to the operation by establishing a feedback system or providing a flow of information to the employees, right? These are certain benefits of control, like it increase the productivity. If you know, if there is an indicator, like while you ride your motorcycle, there is a speed indicator, right? So if you want to cover the distance, say 1 kilometer in 1 minute, so the indicator will help you how much speed you need at how much speed you need to ride your motorcycle to cover this 1 kilometer in a minute, right? So it always helps an individual to increase productivity. It reduces defects and mistakes, as one wants to do a right thing in right time, in right manner. So it always helps, this control measure will always help them to reduce the defects and mistakes, because this control system makes a habit to the individual that he should take precautions or reduce his mistakes to increase his productivity. Then it helps to meet deadlines. As we set the standard measures, it will help us to decide in what time we need to finish our task. So it always helps to meet the deadline. It facilitates communication. As the control and standards were set in the organization, it should be communicated or it should be understandable with all the employees. It facilitates a good communication system in the organization. It improves safety. Control measures always reduces the risk to the company, as it is helping reducing the cost to the company or loss of the company. It lowers the cost. It reduces the cost, so it ultimately is going to lower the cost of the company. It gives the workers control over their environment. There are certain factors which are uncontrollable, but due to this control we can somehow control the uncontrollable factors in the environment by improving ourselves, not by changing in the uncontrollable factors, but those which are controllable we can work on it, and definitely we can make control over the environment. So these are certain benefits of control. These are certain essentials of effective control system. How we can have an essential or effective control system in the organization, that it needs to be suitable, because the nature of company, the nature of activities that are involved in an organization or institution differ from its nature, differs from the purpose of the establishment of a company. So it should be suitable, it should be appropriated to the need and nature of the activity. Like certain control measures in the sales would be different from the certain control measures or system is established in the finance department. Okay. Then timely and forward looking. It helps to point out at the early stage. It helps the manager to point out the deviations at early stage, which signals out him where there is a need for him to look into the matter. So it always helps to detect deviations before they occur, or there is a timeline. That another essential of effective control system is objective and comprehensible. It should be clear and definite. It should always direct access to the additional information which is very needed to make assessment. It should be flexible, adjusted to suit the needs of any changes that happen in the situation. So the control system should always be flexible, so that it can adjust with the need of that particular problem. Then we have economical derived benefit should be more. It means that control system should not be more costly than it is to be established for the lowering the cost of the company. So it should be economical. The perspective and operational, it always provide you certain feasible solutions, possible feasible solution or optimal solutions to your problems. So these are certain essentials of effective control system that need to be established in your company. Another essentials are acceptable to the organizational member, which should be realistic and reasonable, as you are setting certain standard in control measures, as we have earlier taken the example of that, the standard should be like that, on an average how employees can achieve it. It should be reasonable and realistic. If I set a standard which is beyond the capacity of any individual, so this cannot be attained by any individual in the organization. So standard should be set at it is reasonable and realistic in nature. Then it reveals exceptions as strategic point. There are certain exceptions in the control system which cannot be controlled by the management, so it should reveals the exceptions at strategic point. Okay, motivate people to high performance, because we have set certain standards. We on the basis of the performance measurement, we appraise the employees, those who are working really hard. So it also motivates the other people to get praise in the organization. So it is also a tool of motivating people. It should not lead to less attention to other aspects. It should not be focusing on only one criteria. It should consider the organization as a whole. It should be periodically reviewed and evaluated. As this control is a continuous process, right? So we always need to review it in a time. We cannot neglect if the one time measure or monitor is done. We always need to follow through the process, because the task and the activities go on and on. After the one task is completed, the second will begin, the second will complete, and third will begin. So this is a continuous process. So we should always have a control system. We should always review it periodically, right? There are some problems in the control system, like magnitude, the unanticipated magnitude of change is there, like how and what. So this management control system is designed to cope up with the changes of limited magnitude. While designing this control system, certain assumptions are made. Like जैसे हम कंट्रोल सिस्टम एस्टैब्लिश करना चाहते, तो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ चेंज मतलब जब हम डिज़ाइन कर रहे हैं कोई कंट्रोल सिस्टम, तो कोई भी प्रोसेस हम जब बनाते हैं या कोई भी चीज़ हम इनोवेट करते हैं, तो वी मेक सर्टेन assumptions which are made concerned with the variables which is expected to change, और जो भी डिग्री ऑफ चेंज इसमें लाना है उनको लेकर हम कुछ assumptions बनाते हैं, ताकि जिसके बेस पे करेक्टिव एक्शंस हम डिसाइड कर सके. So in the magnitude of change, we always make assumptions, or the variables were expected to change, or the degree of change, ये हम consider करते हैं. Corrective actions 3 assumption पे basically बनाते हैं, जैसे कि example लेते हैं overtime. So overtime can be decided on the assumptions that 5% of employees on an average will be absent. हम ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते ना, इसको बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं ले सकते ना. अगर हमने 90% अगर ले लिया ये कि 90% एम्प्लॉयज़ रिमेन एब्सेंट ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर डे ड्यू टू सम स्ट्राइक इन द मैनेजमेंट, तो ये कोई करेक्ट मेजरमेंट नहीं ले रहे हैं आप कंट्रोल सिस्टम का. ऐसा ले सकते हैं ऑन एन एवरेज पूरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में 5% एम्प्लॉयज़ एब्सेंट रहेंगे, तो अगर वो एब्सेंट रहेंगे तो उनकी बिहाफ में कौन काम करेगा? वो काम रुकना नहीं चाहिए, राइट? सो अगर कंट्रोल सिस्टम कितना करना है और कैसे करना है और कहाँ करना है, ये अगर आप एंटिसिपेट कर सकते हैं, तो आप जो करेक्टिव मेजर्स है वो बराबर ले सकेंगे. इट शुड नॉट बी बियॉन्ड द लिमिट और इट शुड नॉट बी लेस देन द लिमिट. एकदम उसका जो अजम्पशंस आप बना रहे हैं वो आपको प्रॉपरली डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा. जैसे कि हमने एब्सेंटिज्म वाला देखा. देन लैक ऑफ टाइमलीनेस ऑफ फीडबैक, टाइम लैग होता है, क्योंकि कंट्रोल सिस्टम में क्या होता है, ये डिपेंड होता है कि किस तरीके से एक्यूरेट और टाइमली फीडबैक आपको एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस पे मिलता है. फीडबैक लार्जली जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में लिया जाता है वो रिटन रिपोर्ट्स में होता है, और जो रिटन रिपोर्ट्स में होता है तो फिर उसको ट्रांसमिट करने में, उसका एक्चुअल रिप्रेजेंटेशन रिपोर्ट्स बनाने में, थोड़ा इंटरप्रेट करने में समय लग जाता है. लेकिन जो एक्टिविटीज़ है वो बहुत फास्ट चेंज होती है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में। सो जो फीडबैक सिस्टम है वो आउटडेटेड हो जाता है रिटर्न रिपोर्ट्स के कारण। सो अब आजकल जो है फीडबैक में कुछ एडेप्टिव प्रोसेसेस आपको अप्लाई करनी होती है, जैसे आप ऑनलाइन सिस्टम्स बना सकते हो फीडबैक, ऑटो जनरेटेड रिजल्ट्स आपको मिल जाते हैं, रिपोर्ट्स मिल जाते हैं। तो ये टाइम लैग वाला जो है, ये कई बार ऐसा होता है कि प्रॉपर ऑन टाइम फीडबैक नहीं मिलता है परफॉर्मेंस का, या इवैल्यूएशन टाइमली नहीं होता, तो आउटडेटेड डेटा हो जाता है आपके पास, तो टाइम लैग इसका एक प्रॉब्लम है। देन रॉन्ग इन्फॉर्मेशन, रॉन्ग रिपोर्टिंग, एग्जाम्पल डेसिमल पॉइंट मिसप्लेस हो गया इन यूनिट्स ऑफ असेंबली लाइन। सो फॉल्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स, जैसे रॉन्ग इन्फॉर्मेशन में फॉल्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स भी होते हैं। जब कंट्रोल स्टैंडर्ड्स जब आप बना रहे होते हैं तो उसमें रन्स आ जाते हैं, जैसे कि डिस्क्रिमिनेट करना आपके लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है, जैसे कि प्रॉपर या इम्प्रॉपर परफॉर्मेंस क्या है एम्प्लॉय का। डिसीजन मेकर इज नॉट सर्टेन अबाउट द डेविएशन अबाउट द परफॉर्मेंस of the employee due to the activity being out of control due to some improperly set standards, है ना, जैसे कि यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल डेसिमल पॉइंट वाला दिया है। देन इन्फॉर्मेशन ओवरलेटेड, क्वांटिटी एंड टाइप ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन, एमआईएस सिस्टम आपको एस्टेब्लिश करना होगा कि अगर कंट्रोल मेजर्स लेना है, डेटा कलेक्ट करना है उसके लिए, तो किस तरीके से लेंगे। ज़्यादा ओवरलोडेड इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं होनी चाहिए, जितना रिक्वायर्ड है उतना ही इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए किसी को भी, राइट। क्योंकि ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन कई बार हार्मफुल हो जाती है कंट्रोल के लिए, कई बार इनकम्पैटिबल इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको उसमें मिलती है। तो ऑल लेवल्स पे आइडेंटिकल इन्फॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड करना, ताकि ओवर बर्डन ना हो किसी को भी वो सारा रिकॉर्ड करने में। अननेसेसरी डेटा आप क्यों रिकॉर्ड करोगे, जितना ज़रूरत है, जितने डेटा में काम हो जाता है उतना ही आपने करना चाहिए, तो ओवर बर्डन नहीं होगा और आपको इनकम्पैटिबल डेटा नहीं मिलेगा, राइट। सो ऑल लेवल्स पे जो मैनेजर होते हैं वो आइडेंटिकल इन्फॉर्मेशन से ओवरबर्डन हो जाते हैं कई बार, तो उसमें कुछ सजेस्टेड रेमेडीज आप दे सकते हो, जैसे कि सबऑर्डिनेट को अपॉर्चुनिटी दे सकते हो कि आप वो डेटा में करेक्शन कैसे करें, किस तरीके से रिकॉर्ड करें, उनको भी इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं इसमें, ठीक है। इसीलिए मैनेजमेंट में हर बार जो क्वांटिटी एंड टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन होती है वो हर एक मैनेजर तक पहुंचाई जाती है, उसके लिए भी एक एमआईएस सिस्टम होता है। देन वर्कर्स रेजिस्टेंस, ऑब्वियसली कंट्रोल मेजर्स हमेशा उनके परफॉर्मेंस को इंक्रीज करने के लिए हो रहा है, तो दे मे रेजिस्ट दिस कंट्रोल सिस्टम ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। जैसे कि अगर कंट्रोल सिस्टम उन एक्सेप्टेड ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं है उनके लिए तो वो रेजिस्ट करेंगे। अनरीजनेबल स्टैंडर्ड यानी बियॉन्ड कैपेसिटी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल है तो नहीं करेंगे। टू मेनी कंट्रोल्स होंगे, ऑब्वियसली नोबडी वांट्स टू मेनी कंट्रोल्स ऑन देम। इनएक्यूरेट मेजरमेंट, इम्प्रॉपर सिस्टम आपने इम्प्लीमेंट किया है। शॉर्ट टाइम ऑफ स्पैन ऑफ अप्रेजल, दिस शुड नॉट बी द केस। डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ अनप्लीजेंट फैक्ट्स, है ना, जो जिससे किसी को बुरा लगे। अपोजिट सोशल प्रेशर, ये भी एक चीज़ होती है। रॉन्ग पर्सन ट्राइंग टू कंट्रोल, है ना, कई बार हम सोचते हैं हु हैज़ गिवन हिम द राइट टू कंट्रोल मी, राइट। तो ऐसे कई सारे प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं जो यहाँ पे आते हैं, जो प्रेशर बनाते हैं मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर या मैनेजर के ऊपर। कई बार क्या होता है, कुछ टारगेट सेट किया जाता है जो फिजिबल नहीं है, या टाइम ऑफ अप्रेजल जो हमने देखा वो बहुत शॉर्ट होता है। तो शॉर्ट स्पैन में आप कैसे असेसमेंट करोगे किसी भी एम्प्लॉय का, उसको आप अभी तक ठीक तरीके से उसका बिहेवियर आप स्टडी भी नहीं कर सकते शॉर्ट स्पैन में, राइट। सो एम्प्लॉय में ऑल्सो फील दैट कंट्रोल डिपार्टमेंट इज जजमेंटल है, बायस है, राइट। तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं, ये प्रॉब्लम्स हैं जो कंट्रोल सिस्टम में आ सकती हैं। देन वी हैव सर्टन कंट्रोल टेक्निक्स which is past oriented, future oriented, market control, bureaucratic, client control technique, old and new control technique. Let us see them one by one. Past control, past oriented में जहाँ पे हम past actions जो हो चुके हैं उनके रिकॉर्ड पे हम कंट्रोल मेजर्स ले रहे हैं, मतलब जब टास्क कंप्लीट हो गया, it is related with the past action controls. Past oriented is related with the past action controls which is measured after the work is completed. जैसे कि एग्जाम्पल अकाउंटिंग रिकॉर्ड्स, जब ट्रांजैक्शन होता है उसके बाद अकाउंटिंग रिकॉर्ड होता है, उसके बाद हमारा फाइनल अकाउंट बनता है, उसके बाद हम लोग करेक्टिव मेजर्स लेते हैं, whether to go for debentures, capital investment, or we should go for loan, how to manage our fund flow, right? देन स्कूल ग्रेड रिपोर्ट्स, जब आपकी एग्जाम हो जाती है, जब टीचिंग कंप्लीट हो जाता है, उसके बाद आपका रिजल्ट आता है. सो दीज आर दी सम पास्ट ओरिएंटेड कंट्रोल्स, या टेक्निक भी हम बोल सकते हैं. एग्जाम्पल से आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. विच इज यूज्ड एज द बेसिस फॉर रिवॉर्डिंग, डिसिप्लिन, ट्रेनिंग एंड प्रमोटिंग. इन रिवॉर्डिंग, डिसिप्लिन, ट्रेनिंग एंड प्रमोटिंग के लिए पास्ट ओरिएंटेड रिकॉर्ड टेक्निक्स हम यूज कर सकते हैं. देन फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड, जहाँ पे हम फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग करते हैं किसी चीज का. वी आर फोरकास्टिंग समथिंग. इट इज फीड फॉरवर्ड और स्टीयरिंग द कंट्रोल, जहाँ पे आपको डायरेक्ट अटेंशन होता है उसको उसके फोकस पॉइंट पे, रेदर देन टू इवेल्युएट. इवेल्युएट कब होगा? जब वो काम होगा उसके बाद. लेकिन यहाँ पे आप पहले ही कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इवेल्युएशन के पहले ही आप उस पर अटेंशन दें, फोकस दें. कीप वॉच ऑन दी ऑपरेशन इन प्रोग्रेस. जब प्रोग्रेस में है आपका काम, तभी आप इस फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड में काम करते हैं. यू ट्राई टू एडजस्ट योर वर्क असाइनमेंट, रिड्यूस एक्सपेंसेस, मेक प्रॉम्प्ट डिलीवरीज. इस तरीके से फ्यूचर ओरिएंटेड टेक्निक्स यूज करते हैं. जैसे एग्जांपल कैश फ्लो, आप फ्यूचर पहले ही निकालते हैं कि लास्ट में क्या होने वाला है. सो यू डेफिनेटली अर्लियर स्टेज पे ही आप कैश फ्लो बनाना शुरू करते हैं. फंड फ्लो एनालिसिस, नेटवर्क प्लानिंग, ये सब इसके एग्जाम्पल हैं. देन वी हैव मार्केट ब्यूरोक्रेटिक क्लान कंट्रोल टेक्निक्स. मार्केट कंट्रोल में जैसे कि कंपैरिजन ऑफ प्राइजेस, प्रॉफिट्स ऑफ प्रीवियस ईयर्स, है ना, ये टेक्निक्स आप लेते हो. ब्यूरोक्रेटिक कंट्रोल के लिए आप रूल्स, पॉलिसीज, हायरार्की, ऑपरेटिंग बजट, स्टैटिस्टिकल रिपोर्ट, ये सब कुछ. ब्यूरोक्रेटिक मतलब जहाँ पे आप अथॉरिटी ज़्यादा रखते हो और एम्प्लॉयज़ को पावर कम दे रहे हो. सो ये सभी के लिए जब आप एक इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म देते हो, तब आप ये टेक्निक इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो. देन क्लान कंट्रोल is for building the relationship, harmonious relationship between the employee and employee. It generates the trust. It creates the culture of the organization. It increases the commitment and shared belief, right? So these are certain techniques which help you to establish a control. Then we have old and new techniques. Old control techniques. Techniques have been long time used by the managers are old techniques, such as financial accounting. बहुत old technique है. इसके जो रूल्स है वो आज भी फॉलो होते हैं. वेदर वी आर ऑल्सो वी हैव चेंज द टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ रिकॉर्डिंग द फाइनेंशियल एंड अकाउंटिंग स्टेटमेंट्स, राइट, बट द मेथड इज सेम. सो दिट इज द ओल्ड कंट्रोल. देन वी हैव न्यू कंट्रोल टेक्निक्स लाइक CPM, PERT, एम्प्लॉय रिलेशन इंडेक्स, HR अकाउंटिंग. बहुत सारे ऐसे सॉफ्टवेयर आ गए हैं जो क्वालिटेटिव डेटा को भी कन्वर्ट करते हैं. सो न्यू कंट्रोल टेक्निक्स भी आ गए जिससे आप एम्प्लॉय परफॉर्मेंस कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. So this is here we done with this managerial control, why it is important, what are the steps, and what are the control techniques. Besides these control techniques, old, new, future and past oriented, market bureaucratic and clan control techniques, we have learned about the participative management as a control system, employee empowerment, motivation, right? All this will help you to make control over your employees and motivate them to increase the performance or increase their productivity to attain the goal. Now students have to watch this video, and as I am ending this video, I will be posting a case study related with the managerial control. You need to go through that study and give your suggestions about how you can establish a control measure in that case, and the corrective measures that can be taken by you, or what you can suggest to remove this difficulty in the organization. Okay, so go through the study and get it solved. You can post it in the discussion forum, or you can submit it as an assignment. I will be posting the link on the LMS, so you can log into your dashboard, go to the PPM subject, you will see the link to submit the assignment, and the question is posted in the discussion forum, so you can see the case study problem in the discussion forum. Thank you for watching this video.